Okay, this is part two, Fifth Amendment. No person shall be held to answer. No person shall be held to answer. Period. I mean, that right there. You don't have to go in there and give them your financial documents or answer their questions or let them, don't you want what's best for your child? Who are you to ask me that? Anyway, I'm going to get to all that. No person shall be held to answer for a capital, meaning, criminal, or otherwise infamous crime. Now, can't can't be any clearer than that. Otherwise infamous crime, unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in land or name. Blah 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 blah. Nor shall any person be subject to the same offense twice, nor shall be compelled. When they tell you, you got to come in and give us your DNA and provide your financial documents, they are compelling you. When they tell you through their coercion, with threats of the legal process, threats of abuse of the legal process, that they can suspend your license or put you in jail if you don't comply, they are compelling you. Now this says criminal case, but if you're not breaking the law, then where do they get any authority to make you answer for anything anyway? Who are they? Anyway, to be a witness against himself. Well, you just witnessed against yourself when you provided financial documents or you gave him DNA, which is property. Property. Right there. Without due process of law. Due process of law is what we're talking about here. Due process of law. That's the only process. Do you ever hear due process of color of law? Have you ever heard of due process of an administrative agency? Have you ever heard of due process of open business meetings? No. There's only due process of law. Nor shall private property, such as your DNA, which they take for public use because now they get public funding from you, without just compensation. So if you provided your DNA, did you get just compensation? Did they pay you for it? Just like you get stopped at a DUI check and they make you breathe in a breathalyzer. Are they paying you for that? I've seen these videos on YouTube where they're taking people and throwing them in the hospital and just drawing blood from them. That's biological property. That's private property. Are they getting just compensation for it? The Sixth Amendment. In all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed. So you have a right to a jury trial. Anytime you go before them, the only way they have authority is over law to establish justice. I've proven that. And shall have been committed which district shall have been previously ascertained by law. Everything is by law. That's all the authority they have is for the law. To be informed of the nature meaning nature of the injury, and cause of the accusation. Cause meaning proof of fault. What conduct did you do that caused the injury? And that's got to be concrete and particularized, which I'll get to that later too. Then you have the right to challenge the witnesses against you. When you go into the child support court, is there ever witnessing? In fact, in all the times I've been in court, the state. Whoa, where is the state? I'd like to ask the state some questions. How in the hell can I offend the dirt? How did I offend the boundaries? Oh, well, it's the body public. Okay, well then bring the body public in here. How did I offend the body public? Am I not part of the body public? Compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his favor and the assistance of counsel. Well, okay, that's all for federal court. Well, the state's going to try to say that that doesn't apply to them. No, it doesn't apply to them. But the 14th Amendment applies to the states. States it right here. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of the citizens of the United States. There it is. Nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Of law now. Due process of law. Nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. Now that equal protection, that really gets me right there, because all you have to have in their so-called law, I'm not even going to call it a law. It's not a law. Their documentation. That's all it is. It's just business documentation. Well, in business, I mean, yeah, you'd like to have substantial compliance. Sure. That way your business does well. But substantial compliance in law? No. No. See, that substantial compliance is actually broken down into class and race. You can look that up. They got to do a yearly evaluation to make sure they're getting enough money from a certain number of people from this class or that class or this class. It's got to be equal to. Let's just say 66%, since 66% is the amount of money that the government pays for their business opportunity. Excuse me. 66%. Well, that leaves 34% of the people out there that don't have this law enforced upon them at all. I'm sorry, I said law again. It's not a law. It's it's business regulations. That's all it is business regulations. And it provides no equal protection. Substantial compliance is an open admission that they're not going to provide equal protection. Equal protection means everyone included, everyone involved. I mean, how's it equal protection when you only have to have a certain amount from this class and a certain amount from this race? It's not equal protection. They don't provide equal protection. This is another one I like right here. Nor any state shall assume or pay any debt or obligation incurred. Now, granted, it says in aid of insurrection or rebellion, but that's exactly what they're doing. When you get divorced, the obligation incurred is on whomever takes the kids. Whoever takes your offspring, or if you take your offspring, you just incurred the obligation. That means that you willfully knew the risks involved and you accepted the obligation anyway. Otherwise, you're taking humans for the purpose of making money off of them. And what kind of person does that make you? What kind of morals do you have if you take the kids and then turn around and give the obligation to the state so that they can come after somebody else and try to cover the payment for it? And if you don't take the offspring for the reason of raising them and accepting the risks, then I don't care what morally righteous agenda you're trying to push. In my moral mind, you're just using kids for money. But anyway, I'm gonna get on this. Just wasting time. We're gonna start next with jurisdiction.